Hi guys, welcome to my shop. Last week I built a tool wall. While I was building this tool wall, I realized that this is not only a perfect beginner's project, it's a perfect project, period, for everybody. Because it is so dependent on your tool set and your space and your skill set and your personality that there's really no right or wrong way to do this. So it wouldn't really make any sense to show you how exactly I built my tool wall. I thought it might be more interesting to explain how I figured out how to build my tool wall. And that is actually pretty easy. You just need to think about three things. The first thing you need to figure out is your tool set. What kind of tools do you have, / what kind of tools do you want visible? If you are a model maker, it will be a different set of tools than if you are a 3D printer or a woodworker or whatever. So pick the tools that you want out. My tool wall is the background of my shop and it's visible in all the videos. So I pick tools that I not only use a lot, but that are also good looking. The next thing I would suggest is laying all of your tools out on a table and figure out how much space you have to display them. And one piece of advice here, be very generous with the space. If you only need this much, still make the wall bigger because you can always add tools and you might change your mind about layout. So be generous and give your tools as much space as you can, basically. So once you have the placement figured out, it's really just about the method of how you want to hold your tools. And that is highly dependent on your skill set. Anything is possible, even if you have a very, very low skill set and you haven't even started woodworking. You can use scissors and cardboard to make your tool holders. You can go to a fast food chain and get these wooden steer sticks and make turn buttons out of them. Tool holders can be made from anything and everything. What I did was I really wanted to learn how to use the CNC. So I made it a challenge for myself to incorporate my CNC machine into the build process. So I came up with these turn buttons to keep the tools in place. I designed them in Illustrator and then cut them out on my Stepcraft. And I also, for my drill station, engraved the forenames of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and named my drills after them, just to make it a little bit more fun for me. Oh yeah, and also the whole drill thing is cut out on the CNC. My whole drill station, it holds the batteries underneath. You can always check how full the batteries are. And on top, it's the footprint of the battery of the drill. And you can have all 4 drills perfectly placed to each other, standing next to each other, and the whole thing is cut out on the CNC. So maybe if you're a very experienced woodworker, challenge yourself with learning something new. Maybe use a CNC machine like I did, or your 3D printer or whatever to make your tool holders. And if you are a beginner, don't worry at all. Everything is a tool holder, and even if you just take a hook and screw it into a piece of wood, that is fine too, whatever works for you. This is your project. And that basically leads into the third thing that you need to think about is use your own style. You want to make this as personal as it can be because it's your tool wall. So the challenge really is that you have a bunch of different objects like screwdrivers and rulers and whatnot, and you want to have them organized and you want to have it look as clean as possible but still personal to your style. So what I did is I thought about 3 design elements that I want to use throughout the whole tool wall that would repeat. So there is order and there is logic behind this mess of different objects. What I decided to do is have a black background and then use walnut scraps to make tool holders and use brass as additional features of the tool holders. So turn buttons or just little screws or just little pins. And that's what makes it look so organized, I think. So depending on your style, just pick a couple things that you want to repeat in your tool wall. If you are into comic books, maybe wallpaper the whole background into comic books. If you are, oh, that'd be cool actually. If you're good with electronics, maybe every tool can have a dead man switch. And if you take out the tool, there's a list of all the tools you have on your wall, and there's a light next to every tool. So if you take the tool out, the light will flash and you know exactly what's missing. Man, I should have done that with my wall. So again, like, this is your tool wall. Make it as personal as you can. So if you're into these kind of videos, maybe consider follow me on Instagram, because I sometimes do stories of stuff like this, just behind the scenes stuff that goes on in my shop. And if you really, really like my work, maybe consider becoming a patron and supporting me there. Right now, I have an exclusive interview with Jimmy DiResta that I haven't released on my channel. It's just a sneak peek for my Patreons. I'm not even sure if and when I'm going to release this video to the public. So if you want to see me interview Jimmy, then check it out on Patreon. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week with a new video.